Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I have a quick question for everybody that's watching this, so please leave a comment if you've watched this. Do you think my intro is too long, the one that's just played, or do you think I should play it after I've said hi guys, welcome to my channel, all that nonsense? So let me know down in the comments what you think, if I should kind of shorten it or if you prefer it to be after what I said, if that makes sense, or anything like that really. So in this video I'm going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, she's good today. I'm going to be showing you kind of our progress that we are making with her flat work. She had her sports massage a couple of days ago and the lady was very happy with her top line. She said that she's actually has a top line now and you can see the muscle, which is nice, which she didn't really have before because she was always hollow. And that also the muscle from the bottom of her neck has got a little bit smaller and the one at the top has got a bit bigger, so it's kind of transferring, which means she's using herself properly. So I'm going to try and find some photos of, because it's hard with me because she's quite flat, so you don't really notice kind of top line, if that makes sense. Like, you know, if you've got a horse that's kind of dippy, you can kind of see, but when Moon's quite flat backed. But I'm going to try and find some photos of Moon kind of before and see if we can see a difference. But obviously my sports therapy massage lady has said that Moon is coming on great and that she really noticed her top line, even just taking off her rug. She was like, wow, her top line's come on a lot. So I'm going to tack up and then we're going to go and see if Moon is in a working mood. So the first thing that I do is I always put my iPod on, and as you can see, I put it in my boot. I think it just helps me get out of my head a little bit more. It gives me something to also focus on kind of like subconsciously, and I just really find that it helps my riding. And then I do kind of just let her have a nice walk around stretch. Obviously we have hacked here, so she has warmed up. So then I just like to get her into like a trot, but with no contact or anything like that. I just want her going forward, which she is not doing, so that's why I kicked on a bit and got no forward. And as you can see, the head is up. Like, it's not as bad as it used to be. It used to be higher, but it's still high. But wait until you see me start going into a getting her to work. As you can see here, she's even dropping into it herself, where obviously she's building the right muscle. So even without me asking, she is trying to find that kind of place, if that makes sense. But the first thing, I just like to get her moving about, not straight away on the contact. I know I have warmed up, but it was just kind of walk and trot. So as you can see, she's reaching down on her own accord here. I don't know what happened there, but she was like, had a bit of a shoot forward, not quite sure why. And then the camera lost us, but then it picks us up. So I used the Parvo, I can't remember what it's called. But this is the new app, because their old app, the Parvo Play, I preferred that one, but now you have to use, I think it's Parvo Plus. And I don't know if I like it as much as the old app. It seems to dim in brightness and then go back up and then dim again. Like, as you can see, it's gone dark, then it's gone light, then it's gone lighter. So I'm not really sure why, so sorry about that. And then here I'm just working on getting her to accept the, like, learn to give to the bit. So I did do a lot of groundwork with her on this. We'll try and get a little clip of a video of like me doing it in her stable so you can see what I'm doing and pop it in here. So you just kind of want to hold your outside rein, and with your inside rein you just kind of want to, I don't pull as such like some people pull. I kind of wiggle the rein, if that makes sense, like that. I just find that she responds to that better. Sometimes I do the little, like, so I'll try and zoom in on the bit so you can see what I mean. So sometimes when you do a tug, it's kind of like tug kind of thing, where with the wiggle you kind of just vibrate. It's kind of like that instead of a tug. I hope that you can see what I'm doing. If not, I'll have to film it again. But I know you want your bright spot. Come on. There you go. So as you can see, like, I don't pull, I kind of wiggle the rein, if that makes sense. Like, you can see it's kind of, it wiggles. I don't really pull. I find she's happier with more of like a vibration than a kind of tugging. And then obviously once she puts her head down, then you have to have your hand still so that she knows that she's done the right thing. And even if they just put their head down slightly, you need to give that release, and then you can ask for it to go slightly more and then release again. So obviously this is kind of just warming up, so she does get a lot better, but again it's still quite inconsistent because she's got the muscle there now, but she hasn't got enough muscle to be able to hold it for a long amount of time. So this is just kind of building, but when she does go into a really nice like frame, it just looks and feels really nice. And I can tell that she's built up muscle because now she can do it at a more forward trot. Before I had to really slow the trot down for her to be able to do it, but as you can see now she does go down into it in a more forward trot. So as you can see, even when her head isn't exactly where it needs to be, it's still a lot nicer than what it used to be, and a lot nicer than what it was at the beginning of this video when we was just warming up. So I'm just really happy that it's kind of, the muscle is building in the right place and she is being able to kind of use herself properly, and I know how to ask her to use herself properly, because I think that was one of the hardest things, is I didn't know how to ask her to. I know what I didn't want. I know that I didn't want seesawing. I would never seesaw. I didn't want that. So I kind of let her go around how she wanted to, because I didn't know how to ask her in the right way. But now obviously we've had the bit specialist out, we've had my lessons, and now I've kind of found a way that she likes. So again, more with of the vibration instead of a pulling, because some people like to have a feel on the rein, but she seems to prefer the kind of the wiggle. So again, it's all about, see, that there is absolutely lovely. And I'm really happy about that change of rein. I think she looks really nice on that change of rein. So yeah, it's all about just finding what's best for you and your horse, and it's just hard because obviously not all horses are the same, and she has a very sensitive mouth. So I find that even with the change of bit, it's not as extreme as her other bit, even though that was just a curved snapple. Like, the reaction from her isn't as extreme or as sharp. I still find that the tug, she's still not quite, she prefers a wiggle, is what I'm saying. I am talking way too much, but you can see I'm just really happy with how we've come along. And don't get me wrong, some days we'll go on a ride and she would just be not having any of it. She'd be like, no, I'm going around with my head up, I'm not doing anything you ask. Again, it's with mares, so it's not always, some some kind of flat work, I come away and I'm just thinking, like, it's just getting worse, and it's it's like the end of the world. It's like nothing, she wasn't listening, she wasn't doing this, and it just feels like you're going like 10 steps backwards. And here, because I felt that she wasn't responding as much, as you can see there, I just gave the wiggle and she put her head down. So now we're going to go into trot and see if she reacts to my thinking, and as you can see, she does. So that's what I like to do, is just stop and reinforce the kind of wiggle in like a stand. And I do find with her, in a minute we do some walk, but she finds it harder to use herself in the walk. In the trot she finds it easier, and like this has taken, even though it's not the best, it has taken a good 4 months just to get her here. But again, I only ride like school twice a week, so if that. So if you could ride more, then it would be better, but I just can't push myself to ride that much. Like, I'm probably going to have to stop riding soon because I'm already feeling the pain. It is now the 28th of October that I'm recording this voiceover, and I wanted to ride today, but I'm just in so much pain from where it's getting colder that I just don't think I'm going to be able to carry on riding through the winter, which is quite upsetting because I really wanted to, because we've come like so far, but I can't. My body just cannot cope with it, sadly. So I think I'm doing a clear round next week and then another jumping show, and then I think that's probably going to be it for us this winter. So she'll probably again have the winter off, which is a bit upsetting, but I can't do it. So yeah, but what I was saying about the walk is, so she finds it harder to use herself in the walk, which again my instructor said probably because it's not there's not as much impulsion through the walk as you kind of have through the trot. So how you can see, I'm trying to get her to do it through the walk, and one thing she does do through the walk is she does like to go a little bit behind the kind of the vertical, if that makes sense. But yeah, so anyways, I'm really happy with how we've got, and I just hope that we can get back to, we don't have to start too far back when we start riding again next year. I am hoping to try and ride at least once a week, but we will see.
Worth every penny, baby. You come and catch this work, I know you ready, baby. Oh. I gotta be careful, blowing all these racks on you. Said I gotta be careful, blowing all these racks on you. I've been filling up my wallet, burning holes right through my pockets. Said I gotta be.
So here I'm just unpacking her. I just sped it up because no reason to really have it slowly. So I do have my stirrup covers. It's just the Bates stirrup cover thingy, and it goes around the flex-ons, which is nice. And then the Bates saddle cover that came with the saddle. And I so love the Weather Beater ombre saddle pads, but they're just so small. Like, that's a full, and it just fits my saddle. I wish that they were the same size as the Lemure ones. They just come up so much smaller. Here she just likes to have an itch after I've taken off her bridle, and she normally like rubs her whole body down. And then here, so these are the stretches that I do with Moon after I ride. I am thinking about doing a more in-depth video on them to kind of show you, but these are the stretches that I've been advised to do by her physio. I've been shown, so obviously you want to be shown how to do these in person and on your horse so you know what you're doing. So she does like to groom my head, which I find quite cute when I'm doing her stretches. Here you can't really see what I'm doing, so I do fast forward this part so I can show you on the other leg, and then you can see a lot better. So here I slow it down, and it kind of does her like chest muscle. So you hold their foot against your leg, so because you don't want to pull their like foot out, and you just pull, kind of like, not even pull, you just kind of flex their knee outwards, and it just stretches that inner muscle. And then I do 10 circles in one direction and then 10 circles in another direction, and it just keeps her so supple. And it's also great because when I'm doing them, when I can tell when she's coming to the end of her kind of physio cycle, because she has every 3 months, and I can feel the difference in her stretches. So it's also a great way to feel the difference, because she always gets tighter. So this is her back stretch, and she's really good at this. On her other leg, that is her worst side, so it is a little bit tighter, and it always is, but we are working on that. And then you can't really see what I was doing here, so I do show you on the other leg. So you just bring their foot forward as close, like you don't want to pull it, but like as close to their front foot as possible. So this is her worst leg, so it's not as forward. Her other leg, she pretty much nearly touches her front foot. And then I do carrot stretches with her, and we have graduated from the side stretches to now going further down. Like, she's not meant to put her foot up. I don't know why she put her foot up, but instead of going just to her bum, she wanted me to go down, round and down like I'm doing. So we are working on that. And then I do her back stretches. Sometimes she likes to kind of cheat and bend the leg with these back stretches, but they have got a lot better. And I do think it's because I had her head collar on. I think she felt like a bit more restrained, even though she wasn't done up. So in a minute I do actually take her head collar off. And then I do the side one. So that is the end of the videos. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye guys.